Today I'm going to show you how to make this freezy holder. This is one of my collection of 3 new freezy holders. I'm in Canada and we call them freezies, and I think in the US you call them freeze pops, and I've heard some other names. But we're going to work on this one, which is a fun summer color, and let's get started. So what you're going to need is a 3.5mm hook, your red, white, and blue yarn, and I use Bernat Handicrafter in red, blueberry, and white. You'll also need a pair of scissors and a needle. So we'll start with the red. So to start, we're going to make a slip knot, and we're going to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if you tend to crochet on the tighter side, either make sure your beginning chain is a little bit looser, or go up a hook size so that your chain isn't too tight, because you want it to fit the freezy or freeze pop. And then we're going to attach with a slip stitch so to the first chain. So making sure not to twist your yarn, to twist your chain. Attach to the first chain with a slip knot and chain 1. Now with this project, you kind of want to work in your ends as you go, otherwise at the end it'll be a little bit too tricky to flip it inside out to work your ends in. So what I do here is I come in from the back of this chain, the last chain there, and I pull that end through. You don't have to do it this way, but this is just how I do it. So I pull the end through. So it's now on the inside of the loop we just created, and then I crochet it along this chain as I do my next stitches. So we are going to half double crochet in the same chain that we did the slip stitch in. So half double crochet, and then we're going to do it in each stitch around, making sure to keep this end along the stitches as we crochet. And that weaves in your end at the same time, and you don't need to worry about it after. So continue working half double crochet all the way around. And you should have 15. 2, 4, 14, 15. And then you attach to the very first half double crochet with a slip knot and chain 1. And we're going to repeat that for three more rows. So half double crochet in each stitch around, attach with a slip knot, a slip stitch, for 4 rows in total. So I'll do that and I'll meet you back here. Okay, here we are on the last stitch of the 4th row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to color change to white at the end of this half double crochet. So the last loop we pull through is going to be white. So to do that, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over red, and instead of pulling through red, we're going to pull through with white. Like this. And then we attach with a slip stitch, and I usually keep the ends right on top so that I can secure them in. And you're going to do one chain and then a half double crochet into the same stitch as our slip stitch. If it wants to come through. There we go. And now we want to work in these ends as we go, like I mentioned before. So I'm going to cut the red one. And one little trick I have for working in the ends is if you have a color, if you're going to work in the end the same color as this row, then I just kind of twist it around there just to secure it a little bit more. It's not necessary, but I like to make sure it's extra secure. So this one's weaved through. This end, we're just going to work it right on top as we work the next stitches. So we did one half double crochet. We're going to continue half double crochets in each stitch. You could also, if you wanted to, if you don't like working them through and you wanted to weave them in, you can use this opportunity to weave in your ends and then continue your work. Just try not to save it for the end because it'll be tricky. And if you get these that stick out, we can always cut them off after. I have one at the bottom here too. And I'll just cut off at the end. So we have 15. We're going to attach with a slip stitch in the first half double crochet we did, chain one, and again we're going to do another 3 more rows, so 4 rows of white in total, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, I've reached the end of the 8th row in total, so the 4th white row, and at the end of this last half double crochet we're going to switch to the blue just like we did with the red and white. So yarn over, insert hook, pull through white, and then this is where we're going to attach our blue, pull through, and then slip stitch, chain one, and half double crochet with these ends on top of the stitch so you can secure them in. And then we're going to cut the white one. Again, I'm just going to pull it through these stitches to secure it. And then we'll make sure we have this end there as well. Continue half double crochets all the way around, 15 in each row. attach to the first one with a slip stitch, chain one, and continue for 3 more rows, and I'll meet you back here and I'll show you how I finish it up. Okay, we're at the very last stitch, so our last half double crochet, and you can slip stitch and fasten off if you'd like, but I prefer the invisible join, so that's what I'm going to do here. So you cut off a little bit of a strand, pull it up, attach your needle, and you're going to go under these top loops of your half double crochet. So you have 1 loop, 2 loops, pull your yarn through, and then you're going to go back in where you pulled it out. Tighten it a little bit, and then you have what looks like just a regular stitch. And then I usually just bring the 2 ends together and tie a knot. And then I weave in the end, making sure not to stretch this too much because it kind of looks wonky after you stretch it. So I just work it through the back of a few stitches. And cut it off. And there you go. This is your back seam here. So flip it around. And there you have it. And of course I always have tags for you guys, so these tags will be available in my Etsy shop. I have the Canadian version for those who say freezy, and I'll have the US version for those who call it freeze pop. So go check those out. The link will be in below. The link will be below. I'd love for you to give this a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Feel free to tag me on any of the patterns you make that you post to social media. I'd love to see them. And I hope you'd enjoyed this. Thank you so much.